Hi, good morning. This is Thomas from thomasjungauthor.com, and this morning I would like to talk a bit more. I want to give you a little update on the gangstalking I had to endure. In my video, the video I posted yesterday, I explained to you a bit what gangstalking is, and I linked a video from another guy who, is a guy I recognize because he looks a bit like me, or like the people I used to be friends with. And by listening to his stories, you can get an impression of what I had to endure for the past 10 years. And for the past couple of months, I mean, the gangstalking basically, I wouldn't say stopped, but it lost sort of intensity. It's not there on a daily basis, and sometimes it's even absent for weeks even. But I think because I'm posting these videos and people are downloading the video and send them around in these group chats, of the criminals, the gay criminals, they prostitutes, they are aware that I'm doing that now, so they have to demonstrate their power. So yesterday I went to the gym, and on my way back, I encountered a guy who tried to contact me through a black gay guy who tried to contact me through all sorts of, through a dating website, and he was pretending to be someone else, and he was pretending not to know me, and he was playing little sick games, and then I exposed him, and then he got really mad and stuff like that. So yesterday I came off the bus at the train station, and then he came there with a smug confidence, and this is a guy who has sort of, I think he must be some kind of drug dealer or something. He some criminal of some kind, and he involved in the gangstalking, and he has, I saw him a couple of weeks ago at the supermarket, and he has this very sort of, when he doesn't look at me, he's just looking stoically in front of him as if he doesn't see me. And a lot of guys do that with me. I don't know why. Again, they want to give me the feeling that, this is a demonstration of power. So, and this is a guy who has very sort of the girly features. Yesterday, he passed by, and he had this sort of basketball outfits and this really fucked up hair, and he tried to resemble, I don't know, kind of like an American basketball player. And he's from some kind of African country, but these people, when they live here, they take on the identity of African Americans, as if they are descendants of slaves, and this is also how they cultivate a certain victimhood. It's the same thing with the gay identity, which they also adopt, which also gives them a victimhood narrative, and which also provides them with an identity which is not theirs, but it gives empty people something. And so it was yesterday when he passed by, it was a little comical to watch. So while he was passing by, and I spat in his face, and then that felt really good. And I think I will continue doing such things, because what else can I do against these people? They always have to let you know, we are watching you, because for the past 12 years I didn't have any privacy. They hack your phones, they hack your computer, they hack they know where you are all the time. They let you follow people follow you everywhere. You lose your sense of privacy. And in the past, I would sometimes really freak out over this, because it's, it feels really intrusive, and it feels like, this is violence. This is the violence of the new age. The violence of this age is not. You shouldn't look for in these very overt or physical forms, but this is how people, exert violence over other people, by taking away their privacy, by making up things about you and stuff like that. Because people like that, when I see them, they, evil people, they are at the same time dangerous, but also pathetic, and you can see that in him. These are empty people. Psychologists would call these people, these people have borderline personality organization. They're empty. They, I don't know, they had to endure some kind of traumatic experiences, or they're genetically positioned like that, and they, you know, and this is how they operate. And then I wonder, why do they target me? Why am I such a target for these people? I don't engage in criminal activity. I was never interested in that. So why is it? And I know why. Because I encounter a lot of his associates, and I usually work in, you know, in stores, behind the cashier or something, or in cafes or whatever. And sometimes when I encounter them, yesterday I described some of their behaviors, but sometimes you see, I mean, when you look at their hands, they get so upset when they see me. I mean, they really have a hard time not losing it in my presence. I mean, this is how much I enrage these people, and I wonder why is that? And I think it's two things. One thing, you know, because what I noticed is they devalue you not only by the vile things they tell about you, or, you know, the gossip they spread, the smear campaigns these people launch against you. They also, you know, always with these people, they start believing in the nonsense they're spouting, you, because you have to in a way. But they devalue you by saying you don't exist to us. What you are is just a discourse, a story for people. You don't exist. And what you are is what we decide that you are. I mean, they had people come to my house, you know, sort of people I met through dating websites. And they basically told me, you know, we will talk shit about you, and we decide who gets to know whom and who gets to sleep with you and stuff like that. They told me, even, I mean, this is how evil it gets. But I think there's also another reason why these people chose me, because, you know, people like that, damaged people, empty people, they don't want to overcome it. So at one point they choose the darkness. But if you are only surround yourself with people like that, and criminal behavior and sort of prostitution and stuff, like, you know, things between those people can also get out of hand, because, you know, the disrespect they show to other people is the same disrespect they show amongst each other. So in order to keep their little group and their, you know, to keep that intact and to not, you know, have conflict within that group, they have to redirect their disrespect and their violence outward, you know, in order to, you know, to keep the group sane. And I think that's also, for a large part, what's behind what has happened to me. And I also wonder, why am I so good at that? Because, you know, because I'm alone. I don't like, you know, I spend most of my days alone, but I don't like to spend, of course, all my time by myself. But, you know, now I have to, basically, almost have to, because, you know, I cannot trust anybody anymore. You know, people backstab me. I mean, even people I know who claim to be friends of mine, which they were never, but, you know, they help these people. You know, these kind of smear campaigns, this kind of behavior goes on different levels. So there are always different groups that have this sort of symbiotic relationship with each other. They don't have to converge, or they don't have to agree on things. It's just, they happen because they all have something against me. And these people who claim to know me, they have sort of very petty reasons to get back at me. Either I refused sex, or I didn't give them enough attention, or, you know, they always say, oh, he thinks he's something better than us. And they are the useful idiots for all these other, you know, really vile and malicious people, because they know this, and they know they have these useful helpers there. And yesterday I could see, you know, in that guy passing by, you know, they will constantly demonstrate their power to you. We will never leave you alone. So, okay. But it felt good, you know, spitting in his face, and I will start doing that with more people. Thank you.